Well, looks like we are going now. Hello, this is Ralph, and in this stream, want to cover the topic of how to deal with haters online. If you've been doing any kind of content creation online or even just expressing an innocent opinion online about one thing or another, you've probably picked up a few haters online. And the key takeaway that I would like you to take to go away with after watching this stream is don't worry, be happy. It's all a part of the growth process. When I got my first few haters, online, especially with my video content that I was doing on YouTube, sometimes I would take that stuff kind of personally. And I would think, why are people hating on this? Then I just began to look at my progress on video content and my online content, and I began to notice a pattern, and that was a pattern of growth. Began to notice that the more popular my videos were, the more popular my posts became, the more haters I would attract. And that gave me the understanding, okay, this is all just a part of the game. The better that you do online, the more haters you are going to be picking up. That's just the way it is. It's kind of like a metric of your own progress. For example, when I made my first few videos on YouTube, most of my video content got ignored. Nobody really loved it. Nobody really hated it. I'd pick up maybe one or two views, maybe a week, if that, sometimes one or two views per month. And it just felt like I was getting widely ignored. And that's the way my YouTube journey went for the longest time, is that I'd make a video, it would get ignored. And every once in a while, I'd get a like. Every once in a while, I'd get a dislike. Once in a while, when I would do like a hot topic, a very hot button topic, I would get a hateful comment, maybe sometimes a positive comment. But for the most part, I would be ignored on YouTube. Now, when I began to learn how to post my content better, how to use keywords better in the title, when I learned how to use tags more correctly, when I began to use relevant keywords in the description and began writing a better description and began experimenting with other formats of video, namely shorts, short content video. Then I began to notice that my views began to go up. And when I would do videos on things like gold and silver, those videos have performed very well. And one of my videos on that has really done so well that YouTube decided to monetize that gold and silver video, even though my channel is not uh, allowed monetization. So basically, I don't get the money from those ads. YouTube does, but it's a metric of my own growth progress that, the video became so popular that YouTube decided to monetize it for their own profit. And then I began to experiment with cat videos. And this is where, surprisingly, I've picked up a lot of the haters is with the cat videos. God, go figure, right? But yeah, I noticed that when I would do short videos talking about my home-based business, okay, those videos would be getting maybe 10 views. They do a lot better than my longer content videos, but still, I mean, not that good. But then when I'd throw a cat in there, suddenly it would go from like 10, 20 views to 100 views. And one of my more successful videos got almost 2,000 views in a very short period of time, just by picking up a cat, showing it, and saying, hey, this is a cat. How cute. Being a little bit more creative than that. But I mean, those are the videos that really became popular on YouTube. And this is where I noticed my haters coming in, is that, yeah, the more popular my video was, the more likes it got, the more views that it got. Also, those would be the ones that would attract hateful comments. You know, people making stupid, sometimes hateful comments, giving it a thumbs down. And I had this experience just the other day. Was going through my YouTube channel, going through my short videos, going through seeing how my videos were doing, the home-based business videos, the cat videos where I happen to also mention my home-based business, which is a tactic that seems to be working for me right now. And I noticed that this one person left two rather unkind, shall we say, comments. And they'd given it a thumbs down. And it I felt somewhat hurt in the beginning. And then I looked at the overall performance of that one video. And I saw, okay, it's got like close to 1,000 views, over 20 likes, one or two dislikes, and a comment that is somewhat hateful. And I thought, wow, what a way to really look at this. At first, I was feeling like I was kind of unsuccessful because of the hateful comment. But then I looked at the overall performance of the video and I thought to myself, man, I need to learn how to be more unsuccessful like this more often, because overall, that video performed well. It was under a minute in length, showed my cat, talked a little bit about, what happened in our daily life. And most people loved it. The vast majority of people loved it. It performed well on YouTube, but it attracted a hater. And another thing I like to say about how to deal with haters online is, another reason to just not worry about it is that most haters are just that, haters on YouTube. They have their channel open not to create content, but just so they can watch other people's content and then sometimes hate on it. But, what I've done over the years is I've gone back to look at the channels of some of the people that have been leaving me hateful comments and just looked at what they are putting up there on YouTube, what they are creating. And what I discovered is that the vast majority of my haters, at least, they are just that. They are haters. They are not creators. They have their channels there just so they can hate on other people's content. They do not create their own content for the most part and post that on their YouTube channel. And so this got me thinking, which would you rather be, overall, a creator, a content creator, or a hater? And whose opinion would I value the most on YouTube or anywhere else? The opinion of a fellow content creator, or the unsolicited opinion of somebody who just goes online for the express purpose of just hating on other people? People that hide behind fake avatars, don't even put their real picture up there, who just hide behind their fake accounts and just rag on other people's videos and content and stuff. And I just made up my mind. I'm not going to worry about it, because number one, it's a sign of my growth. It's a metric of my growth. I remembered how it was in the beginning when I first started posting content. Most of my content got ignored. And then suddenly, when I began to become a little bit more popular, I attracted the haters. So the more haters, okay, I say good on you, because that means you're growing. That means you're doing something. It means that you're actually making progress. And then the other reason why I advise, don't worry about your haters. Don't worry, be happy, is that, yeah, most people are just online. most people that post hateful content and hateful comments and will downvote your videos and leave a hateful comment, most of those people are just sad, unhappy people who need a media through which they can express their venom on other people. And I mean, they're just kind of sad, lonely, sometimes depressed people, and they're really more to be pitied than anything else. And I mean, I got a huge wake up call on that when in dealing with one of our neighbors. You know, this happened a few months ago, but one of our neighbors, very hateful personality, said some mean, hateful things about me, my wife. I mean, he's just doesn't really fit into a rural country neighborhood, and he's trying to turn the our rural country neighborhood into suburbia. That's what he wants, and anything less than that, it's like God, he's unhappy. And so, yeah, he's trying to redo the entire culture of the neighborhood just to fit his own his own likes. But I overheard him a few days ago. Actually, it was a few weeks ago. And another neighbor was kind of expressing their dissatisfaction with something he had done, evidently by accident on their property, and they had raised it, brought it to his attention. And the neighbor that was complaining, they were talking in, you know, nice conversational type tones, and just logically, rationally, very calmly expressing their dissatisfaction and asking him what he was going to do to correct the minor damage that he had done to their property. His reaction was to yell and scream and shout profanities, basically just screaming at the top of his voice so that the entire neighborhood could hear, you know, leave me the F alone. And I mean, it just kind of woke me up. The way he'd been acting towards us, the way he'd been acting towards my wife, the reason why, you know, he and his wife have separated. It's like he's a sad, miserable, lonely person. And is this somebody that I'm going to allow to hurt me with hateful comments? Is this really somebody that I should kind of hate or dislike? Or is this rather somebody that I should pity? Because, yeah, he is kind of in a miserable state. And I began to realize, you know, that's how a lot of people that have depression tend to express themselves. Sometimes it does not come out in a very nice manner. Sometimes it just comes out as just pure hate, pure anger. And that's what depression can lead to, just the complete disruption of your you know, higher functions mentally, you might say, where you just don't know how to express yourself in a kind and constructive way. You just unleash hatred on other people, and sometimes that can be a sign of depression. I know we've dealt with that in my family, and sometimes I forget that, and sometimes when somebody will say some mean, nasty things to me, tend to take it personally. But then when I begin to realize there are just some very sad, lonely people out there, sometimes depressed, sometimes don't know how to express themselves very well, it can come out as a very nasty, hateful comment. And I've been around people like that, tried dealing with people like that. And, you know, people like that, you cannot change their minds. They are the way they are. And you just have to make a choice. Am I going to accept them the way they are? Or am I just going to ignore them, mute them, block them if we're talking about social media? And, you know, I've tried to engage constructively with some of my haters. And what I found is, for the most part, that really doesn't do a whole lot of good. You know, again, a couple of years ago on Facebook, had a guy that was hating on my content. And so I just decided to engage with him. I asked him, I notice you're hating on my content, you're hating on a lot of other people's content. He would spam the same message on everybody's business posting. And that message was obvious scam, obvious scam, obvious scam. And he was doing this over and over again in business groups on Facebook. And he got around to me and just posted that spam comment, obvious scam. And so I asked him, why do you think my business opportunity is a scam? Can you explain it to me? And he just hit me with another kind of not very well thought out comment. He just said, well, if you've done the math, this is unsustainable. It's a Ponzi scheme, yada, yada, yada. And the problem is, I knew my business opportunity. I had done the math. I knew it was not a Ponzi scheme. I knew the business had been around for quite a few years. So I kind of begged to differ with him. And what happened? Did I change his mind? Did I convert this hater to, my point of view? No, what happened is I got blocked and I got reported to Facebook. Not the guy that was spamming the same comment in business groups over and over again, but the content creator that was trying to engage constructively with a hater online. And so that's why anymore I just say, look, you're going to get some haters. Just accept it as a fact of life. Look upon it as a metric of your own personal growth and either ignore it. Some people will just answer back to a hateful comment and they'll say, thank you for your comment. Because believe it or not, comments count as engagement on your post and they help your ranking. Even hateful comments help. They count as towards engagement on your post, and that'll actually push you up on the algorithm. So they're doing you a favor, believe it or not, by posting hateful comments. So, what a lot of good entrepreneurs have done, I've noticed, and I think this is a good practice, is just thank them for their comment. Now, if it's overly hateful, if it looks like they're stalking you, spamming you, then I would mute or block. But lately I think I've been way too liberal on the block tactic. And yeah, even hateful comments will help raise you up on the algorithm. So just look at it and be thankful. Yeah, don't worry, be happy, because at least you're getting noticed. And when people engage with your post, either positively or negatively, it's a good thing. It pushes you up in the rankings. It will help you with the algorithm on various social media networks. And it's just a sign that it tells YouTube, it tells the other social media platforms that, hey, this creator is getting noticed. Let's try pushing his or her material out to a few more people. And so overall, it's a good thing. So how to deal with haters online. Don't worry about it. When it happens, it happens. Deal with it gracefully. Thank them for their comment. If it's too rude, if it's too obnoxious, if they like to use a lot of profanities, then yeah, mute, block. If they use a lot of threatening, hateful profanities, then report. But yeah, for the most part, don't worry about it. It's just a sign that you are growing. So let me know in the comments down below, how do you deal with hateful content online? Do you pay attention to your haters? Do you try to convert them? Do you ignore them? How do you handle it? Let me know in the comments down below. So this is Ralph signing out. Thanks for dropping by. And if you'd like to take a look at what I do by way of online business, check out my link below. Until later, this is Ralph signing out. Thanks for dropping by again, and we'll catch you in future updates. Bye-bye.